Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. It was a late night last night. Very, very late night. But I wanted to give you guys some updates on this story that we were covering late last night. That's the reason why we had such a late, very, very late show. And there were some updates that were given last night after we got done with our show. That personally, I needed to get some sleep, and I still didn't end up getting any sleep. Still stayed up and watched to see if there was any new developing information. And the information that they gave out at 12:30, about 45 minutes after we got done with our show, wasn't really a whole lot. They just gave a few details, just a few details of who this person was and all that. And we're going to get into all that stuff here in just a minute, get some more information about everything that went down. Now, obviously, for most of you guys have already woken up with all this information already kind of thrown into your face about this particular monster that did this thing. But of course, there's more information that has come out that I wanted to share with you guys. You guys have been so kind and amazing sending me information as well, and I do appreciate that as well. So I wanted to give you guys as much details as we do know so far. And then there are some videos of interviews from people who were from students, from MSU students that were there firsthand, literally firsthand eyewitnesses to everything that went down. We got a few interviews. And then, of course, we got another video that I found to be striking, very wild and heartbreaking as well. A Sandy Hook student spoke out because they also are a survivor of the MSU incident as well. So we got a lot to look at. Very little time to do this stuff today, guys. But let me say this too really quick. I'm sorry that we're not talking about something more lighter or more on a lighter subject today, given the fact today is the day of celebrating love, right? But I do want to say happiest of Valentine's Day to you and your loved ones. Today is the day we should be celebrating love and loving the ones that we have around us. Not this. I wish we were covering something a little bit different today, but unfortunately, these are the breaks, and this is the world that we live in. This is the country that we live in. Unfortunately, this kind of language has been ingrained into America's DNA, and I wish there was a better way of getting around this. Or not having to deal with this and addressing this in a proper way so that we can stop these things from happening all the time, because this has happened multiple times in the past 6 weeks of this 2023 alone. Since the start of 2023, for 6 weeks, we have had nothing but tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. It is absolutely insane. But outside of that, this is the reason why I say, please do yourself a favor and step back and enjoy and appreciate the people that you love today on this special day. Happy Valentine's Day. This is a very important day, more than ever now. Cherish those that are with you, that you love. And love those strangers. Love thy neighbor. Okay? Let's not forget that too. Because I feel like we're all, this country is just going off the rails. We got to figure out something. We need to figure out what the solution is so we can get this thing going, happening. And now, today, please and thank you. Okay, but before we go into everything, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Send it past 400 likes. I see a bunch of y'all coming in. I really do appreciate it. Happy Valentine's Day, really. Okay, I don't mean to sound so morbid, but I'm just saying this is the time to say I love you to the ones that are around you, and just hold them tight. Hold them tight today. Okay. And yeah, you do the chocolate dipped strawberries and the flowers and all that, please. Okay, do all that ish. Okay, guys, you know exactly what we're talking about. You better get them early because that line is already forming out at your local supermarket. Just so you know, and they're probably out already of those chocolate dipped strawberries. Just so you know. So please hit that like button down below. Send it past 400 likes. Okay, and please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, baby. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you guys the information and the content and the discussions that you need for the day or whenever you're watching this show right here. Okay? So hit that subscribe button. Okay? Let's get into this. All right? Let's rock and freaking roll, y'all. I appreciate all y'all being here. Being a part of the conversation is always a blessing. Seriously. It is always a blessing. And again, if I forget, I'm going to say it now again. Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovebirds out there. Okay. But you don't have to have somebody, you don't have to be in cuffing season right now to spread love. Spread love today. Okay. It could be as simple as opening up a door for somebody, telling somebody they look good without it coming off creepy. You get what I'm saying? All right. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. There's ways of showing love to people and your neighbor as well. Okay. So spread love today. Spread love because we need it more than ever before. So we got to get into this. Now, late last night, I was live doing this breaking story over a incident. And I got to use these code words, guys. Okay. There was an incident on the campus of Michigan State University. Apparently, there were calls around 8:18 p.m. where all this craziness went down. And so far, what we know is that 3 people have lost their lives, and 5 people are now in critical condition. Okay, that's what they said. At first, they were brought in, but apparently all 5 of them, unless there's more injuries that they have not reported yet, those 5 are all in critical condition. So they are hanging by a thread. So if you're the praying type or if you're the energy type, send all positive energy and as many prayers as you can to those victims of this unthinkable thing. But what we know right now is that 3 people have lost their lives, including, okay, so it'd be 4, and that would include the actual monster himself. Apparently, there's only been one that was around doing these unthinkable things. Okay, we are going to talk about that in just a little bit. But I know a lot of you guys are wondering, who the heck is this person? What's going on? Why does this what's going on, right? So we got video, we got articles. We're going to go into the article first. I like to get into that first, and then we can kind of go into the press briefing that they had. And there's some really heart-wrenching stuff. Let me just say that there's some heart-wrenching stuff. Somebody in the family sent me a video of one of the doctors speaking out. We are going to be looking at that, and I'm telling you, it's just it's hard to listen. It's hard to watch. Okay, it really, really is. But we need to go into this. We need to talk about this because the more we talk about it, hopefully, the powers that be, on the up and up, those elected officials maybe will hear these conversations and say, okay, we really need to figure out how to find ways of stopping this thing from happening. Is it the weapon or is it the person? Is it the person and the weapon? Is it the easy accessibility of getting that weapon, right? To be able to do these heinous things? We need to figure this thing out, okay? It doesn't always have to be super political or super bias on one side of the wing or the other side of the wing. We can reach across the aisle. We can reach across our own biases and find some way of finding more safety for our young ones, because we have young ones that are now reliving things over and over and over again. Okay. We heard a phone call yesterday. I'm sorry for going on this tangent, but I'm saying this really quick because this is the reality that we live in right now. We had another student another parent that called in. We heard it on the show last night where her child experienced, if I'm correct, the Parkland. No, not Parkland. The Oxford situation, the Oxford tragedy, where Ethan Crumbly, right, went into his school and opened fire on a whole bunch of kids. That mother, their child, survived that incident. Now they matriculate at MSU and they're experiencing this all over again. Then I have another video, which is also going viral right now on TikTok, of another kid that matriculates at MSU, but also is a survivor of Sandy Hook. Remember when Alex Jones said Sandy Hook was filled with crisis actors? Yeah. So, yeah. Remember that BS and how he's going to have to pay like $1 billion or something crazy thing like that? Rightfully deserved in my personal opinion. But anyway, moving on. There's a child that survived that and now survived this. We're going to be seeing that video very shortly. But what I'm trying to say to you is this is how insane it's getting, where we are having kids experience this more than just the fact that we even have to say once right now that the average of these kids actually experiencing some sort of mass tragedy in their lifetime. The fact that we're even saying that right now, that I'm even saying those words out of my mouth, is absolutely just mind-boggling to me. My mind is blown that we can literally say that our kids could possibly experience, the probability is that more great now, that our kids could experience a mass tragedy in their lifetime. Meaning a mass monster going into a place like a university or a school or something of that sort and opening fire. Think about that for a second, y'all. And the powers that be, the higher ups, the elected officials, listen to me. I would love for them to listen to me, dag nabbit. Do you realize that this is happening every week? Every week. Our children are not safe anymore. Our children are not safe anymore, y'all. Wake up. We need to figure this out now. I feel like it's already been, we needed to be talking about this a long time ago. So why is everyone dragging their knuckles, yo? Why are they dragging their knuckles? To figure this whole thing out, okay? Just saying that out loud, it just drives me insane that I have to be on here today when today's supposed to be we're supposed to be celebrating love, and we're talking about this type of evil. I worry for my future children. I worry about the children, our children. Okay? So, let me get that. I'm sorry I had to get that off my chest. Let's get into this. We got some information and all that. We need to start waking up. We need to start waking up. Kooky Cat, thank you so much for the 2 pounds. I appreciate it. How can buy pointer at 18? Oh, I see what you're saying. How can you buy a pointer at 18 but can't drink till 21? Right. You can even, you can straight up register to vote at 18. You can die for your country at 18. all those things. But then 21, you have to be able to drink. Seems a little weird, right? Now, I'm not sitting here saying that that would answer anything, because that completely says something different about this particular monster, because he was way older than 18. Okay? Way older than 18. Okay? Okay? So, let's talk about this, shall we? Let's talk about this. Okay. So, terrified MSU students tell how they barricaded themselves in their dorms before being evacuated by cops as gunmen stormed the campus, taking the life of at least 3 people and then himself. Now, we heard about all that, them actually barricading themselves into their rooms and all that, which is totally understandable. I mean, there was absolute pandemonium going on all over the place. But the one thing I want to show you guys is, obviously, this was the MSU gunman was actually 43 years old. All right. He's the same one. He injured 5 people, as we know of so far. Because, I mean, dispatch is saying a lot of different things, which we will talk about here in a second. Dispatch is saying a lot of different things right now. Okay. They are. Or at least we heard a lot of different things. Some people are hearing that there was multiple people injured. Now, those injuries could range from GSWs, or they could also be people who just got hurt from trying to run away. Okay? People trampling over each other, so on and so forth. Those things do exist. That does happen. And get this. This particular monster was 43 years old. Allegedly, he had no connection to Michigan State University as of the reporting from last night. Obviously, they're still doing their deep dive into this individual, but they know nothing about what's going on here. Now, of course, there were some calls about, there was some questions in the one that we listened to, the press briefing that we listened to before I ended the show. And they were asking about like an uptick in drugs and all this stuff, maybe thinking that it was like a drug deal gone wrong or something like that. Nah, I think this is just a crazed individual having a crazed individual. And he walked right onto campus and did all these things. So let's get into this article with more detail. So the monster who unalived 3 students and then himself at MSU last night was arrested in 2019 for keeping a loaded gun in his car. And this is the only time I'm saying his name, just so you know. So Anthony McRae is his name. He's 43 years old, or was 43 years old. He opened fire on MSU campus at 8:18 last night, taking 2 kids' lives at Berkey Hall before moving on to Union Hall, where he took the life of a 3rd student. His motive for this rampage still remains unclear. He has no known ties to the school. Public records show this monster lived in Lansing with his father. His mother passed away last year. Now, what's interesting, and I need to point this out and make this abundantly clear, it still remains unclear why this monster walked onto this campus and opened fire on a bunch of innocent kids. There is no connection to him with the university. None. There's no connection. It's not like he used to work there. It's not like he was a teacher in the past. So far, we don't know if he was maybe he used to go to school there, like he was maybe this was his alma mater. We do not know anything as of yet. All we know is that this dude, this monster, randomly walked onto this campus, opened fire, and hurt a lot of people. And Kay Blester said they closed our schools. So you're in Michigan as well. You're around that area. My prayers go out to your friends, your family, all the people that are affected by this whole situation. And thank you for letting me know that. Yes, they have also definitely closed everything. All events are shut down. Everything. They shut everything down. Obviously, there's a lot of kids right now that are extremely traumatized, scared out of their minds, and not knowing what to do right now. So I can see. Oh, you're in Jersey. I can see why they shut a lot of things down in Michigan. All right. And Kay Bless is saying that he was coming to Jersey. That's interesting. Oh, he has family here. Interesting. Maybe they're trying to see if there was something else going on. Maybe he had a plan to go on a demented college tour of some sort. I don't know. But all I know is that around the Michigan area, Michigan State University area, a lot of schools have been shut down. A lot of events have been shut down, so on and so forth. And rightfully so, they should be doing that for sure. It's unclear what he did for work, if anything. On social media, he ranted about God, frequently posted disturbing exorcist photos, selfies with crucifixes, and Bible verses. He also posted about schizophrenia and Satan. Police have also said this monster was found with a note in his pocket indicating a threat to 2 public schools in Ewing, New Jersey. There it is. This is the reason why Kay Blessed school and stuff around her are shut down and all that. Why? Because he apparently he had indicated a threat to 2 public schools in Ewing, New Jersey, which were closed for the day out of an abundance of caution, obviously. And here's the piece of work. Okay, let me just show this to you guys with his crucifix. I mean, maybe he just thinks that this is his God's calling, God's will. He's just doing God's will, maybe. I don't know. But that's very strange. And here's the piece of work. Now, what's interesting is I want to make this also very clear here. This is the monster, not the white kid that was being shared all through the internet, all through social media. Even it was shared. I even shared it on yesterday's feed, which obviously it was not that person at all. But people like to troll and make ish up. And even when they said short black male, there was another photoshopped thing of another black man being spread all over the internet, basically saying, oh, that's the guy. I'm telling you, if it's a black man, a little bit darker than him, in a green shirt, and you're seeing that, and it looks like he had a name tag or something on his chest, that ain't him. This is the guy, just so you know. Because some people out here are just trolling like crazy. I really don't get why people do that. I don't get it. Especially when these kind of tragedies happen. People put out some BS and it's like, yo, you guys are some sick mother lovers. Y'all need to stop. See, even my dog's upset. Okay? Y'all sit down. Take several seats and shut the hell up. Stop trolling. It doesn't help. Period. All right? I said it and I don't give a damn. All right? But anyway, see, now you got my dog all upset, y'all. Come on now. Okay? But this is the guy. Him. And apparently he had a note in his pocket that they found on his remains saying something about him doing something to 2 high schools in Ewing, New Jersey. What the connection for that is, we do not know. Okay? So far. All right. So, of course, there's a lot of furious Michigan Democrats that are calling for gun reform today after the MSU shooting, which comes just about 15 months after Ethan Crumbley took the life of 4 kids at Oxford High School. Remember that kid? Remember Ethan Crumbley? Quite an interesting kid. He had access to weapons in his home, Basically, he was neglected by his parents, for the most part, and then now he, of course, had access to some weapons, went in and did what he did. And now, like I said in a previous live that I did yesterday, there was a mother that called in, a mother of a student that was there that survived this particular incident in MSU. Her own child survived the Oxford High School tragedy as well. Again, some of these kids are reliving trauma all over again. Okay? It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Okay. Jersey Devil just said his family's from Trenton. Ewing is just outside of Trenton. Now, maybe he hated that school. Maybe he hated those two high schools or something in his mind, or he thinks that those high schools are filled with evil. I have no idea. Okay. That is just a very weird thing. And again, why go onto Michigan State University campus and open fire on a whole bunch of innocent kids? Okay. Why? Okay. And so Congresswoman Slotkin went to the podium and said, "I cannot believe I'm here again doing this 15 months later. I'm filled with rage." And the thing is like, I can't believe you got to go up there ever. Doesn't even matter if it's 15 months later. The fact that these are it's like a trend. It's like a thing. Like that the bullying where they're jumping kids in that New Jersey high school where Adriana Kush lost her life, right? She took her own life because of the bullying. That was an ongoing trend where people are like, oh, this is cool if we just jump random innocent kids in high school and film it and put it all over the place and bully them, not only in school physically, but online with these videos outside of school. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's still wild to me that this seems almost like it's a full-on trend. People are looking at these videos, looking at these tragedies, and they're going, I could do the same thing. If he did it, I could do it too. That's insane, y'all. That's absolutely insane. Okay, but anyway, she said, "I can't believe I'm here again doing this 15 months later. I'm filled with rage with that we have to have another press conference about our children being unalived in schools." All right, Governor Whitmer said, "We cannot keep living like this." I couldn't agree more. Okay. Now, again, Andrea Ferguson's daughter is in her first semester at MSU. She sheltered in place last night during the rampage. And we're going to be looking at these videos and stuff. I never expected in my lifetime to have experienced two school tragedies. There's several kids there that are our daughter's friends, that our daughter's friends with, that are going through the same thing. It's like reliving Oxford all over again. Again, I want to reiterate, this monster, he is 43 years old. Let me show you right now. Horde 43 has no ties to the school, from what they know, and that he had a note, maybe it was a manifesto of some sort, that was in his pocket when they found him gone. He's 43, y'all. Yeah, that's 43. Man, that's 43. Whew. Shoo, that's crazy. Okay. So, 43. We got some things. We got to look at some things here. I got a few videos that I want to share with you guys from the press conference and all that. From the it was like the 1:30 a.m. update that I want to share with you guys. And if you guys can do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Okay, hit it down below. Let's get it past 600 likes real quick. That would really mean a lot. A like don't cost a thing. So please hit that like button down below. We're going to be taking a look at this, a little bit of this press conference. We're not showing the whole doggone thing, but I wanted to share with you guys what we have so far. So hit that like button down below. And if you haven't done that yet, hit that subscribe button, baby. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets, and it would be greatly appreciated, okay? And Danny Avalon, thank you so much for liking the hoodie. I appreciate it. You can get this right now at pascalmerch.com. I make these hoodies, all right, with my own two hands. So go and check out pascalmerch.com. Be greatly appreciated, okay? All right. Let's get into this video. Hit the number one. Let me know you guys can hear this video. Let's rock and roll.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Chris Rosman. I'm the Deputy Chief at Michigan State University Police and Public Safety. Over my right shoulder is our Vice President for Public Safety and Chief of Police, Marlon Lynch. And I want to start by saying that we have been committed to being as transparent as possible and sharing as much information as we can since the start of this horrific incident. I stand before you with a few minor updates that we'll provide, and then we will open it up for a couple questions. Please keep in mind that there's not much new information that we have since we last had a briefing about an hour ago. I will start by sharing an update that the 5 victims that were transported to the hospital were transported to Sparrow Hospital in Lansing. All 5 of those victims remain in critical condition. I will also share that the incident that occurred off campus with the suspect occurred in the city of Lansing, off campus. That suspect is, we now know, is a 43-year-old male. That 43-year-old male is not affiliated in any way with Michigan State University. He's not a student, faculty, staff. And we have no idea why he came to campus to do this tonight. That is part of our ongoing investigation. As the president said, we know this news is so difficult for those within our campus community and beyond. It's important to remember that the grief some individuals may be experiencing is normal, and there are a number of ways that individuals can seek support, including talking with friends, families, and colleagues. After this briefing, we will be sharing supportive resources through our police and public safety social media pages that we've been asking people to follow, as well as the university communications, highlighting other resources that are available in addition to the event tomorrow at the Hannah Community Center. Chief, do you want?
Yes. Just a reminder that this is an ongoing investigation that will involve multiple agencies that are currently here on campus, and maybe some based on expertise that will also assist in the future. This is a process. It will take some time. I know we all want answers, and we as soon as we have them, we will share them. That is something that will occur over the next few days. Immediately, we will continue to have these updates with our community as well as with our media moving forward with it. It's a process. The answers will come. Hopefully what has been shared to this point is enough to assist in what we are all trying to do, which is to recover at this point. The next couple of days, as you've heard from President Woodruff and also Deputy Chief Rosman in regards to resources that will be available by those that are impacted. If you witness people that need assistance, please speak up. Encourage them to seek help. Sometimes they're just unable to do it alone. And sometimes they just need to have a little assistance to get them going with that. Those resources will be available. We will now take questions.
Now, what you see here is the same information I just gave you guys. And of course, I got to break these things up. So I apologize, guys. You know, this is just how the game is, okay? I got to break these things up as best as I can. But first, real quick, Penny Robinson, before it disappears, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so very much. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the family. Just like Penny Robinson, you could be a member and help support this channel out as well, just by simply hitting that join button down below and just becoming a family member. All right. It would be greatly appreciated. You'll be able to use some emojis that are specifically made for members only. And there's other little things as far as the live stream that you can do, have access to as well, especially when I put the chat into slow mode, right? There's certain benefits of being a member for that too. So think about becoming a member. Hit that join button down below. Anyway, as you can hear in this press conference, that this was from last night, 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can hear this is what's being said right now. Okay, that the same thing that I just read to you guys in that report, they're basically saying the same thing. Okay. 43-year-old man, they did not identify his name at that time. They just said, this is all the information we have so far. We don't know what happened. We don't know how this happened, so on and so forth. Okay. We don't know what the connection is and all that. Obviously, there's more information that they leaked or that they have presented since then, but we are, of course, back in time a little bit. So let's hear some of these questions. We don't need to hear all of them, but let's listen to some of these to see what is revealed in here. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of this, the cops are playing a lot of this close to the vest. We've heard that a lot, right? They basically say the same thing here. There's some information that they can give, and there's some information that they can't give because they're still trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's all still developing. Okay, so let's take a listen to a little bit more of this. I'm not going to play the whole thing because there's other videos I want to share with you guys. So let's rock and roll.
Other than the 8 who were shot, 3 fatally, 5 were in the hospital, are there any other victims today?
Yeah, to our knowledge, there are only 8 total victims in this case, 3 that are deceased and 5 at the hospital. Yes. But,
Do you have any updates on the surgical status of these victims? Are they in surgery now? Have they come out since?
so we do not have those specific updates. What we were told by Sparrow Hospital is that they remain in critical condition. We may have future updates, more specific updates in the morning as we coordinate that information with the Sparrow Health System.
So they confirm students, faculty members.
Yeah, so we are still working to fully identify all of the victims that are involved in this case. And if they have affiliation to our university, we will continue to pursue that, and we will share that information as soon as we are able to. Please understand that behind every victim is a family and our loved ones, and we need to be respectful to that. And so we will share information as soon as possible regarding the identity of those victims, especially the deceased, and any affiliation that they may have had with Michigan State University.
Without identifying, can you just characterize what their age range is?
I don't currently have that information. No. Our investigators have that information. We're still processing it and working through it. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to put that information together and share more details. Over here.
You were Michigan State Police before conducting the investigation, coordinating it, not another agency?
So it'll be a collaborative process with that. We do have ability to partner. We will do that in a circumstance like this. The preference is for those agencies that have the resources and expertise at this level. They will take the lead on that particular step in the investigation. This happened here. We are the primary law enforcement agency. We will be involved every step of the way. But when you have resources like we do locally, at the state level and at the federal level, we are going to take advantage of those resources and utilize them. Yes, sir.
Was the suspect found dead, or was there some sort of contact with the police?
So again, we're still working through the investigation. Our understanding is that the suspect was confronted by law enforcement. Yes. Go ahead.
So real quick, he was confronted. That's one piece I didn't realize. He was confronted by police, and then he did what he did. And that's also very surprising to me as well. Valerie Miller, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for your support. Also, Infinite Content said on Twitch, and also follow me on Twitch if you're watching on Twitch right now. Appreciate the support there too. I was wondering if this was someone that the police knew was a potential threat, and they let slip on their monitoring of him. You know what, Infinite? That's a very good question. I don't know. Anything's possible at this point. Anything's possible. But then again, he already has a record of having a gun possession, or possession of a weapon in his car. They already have a record of that in the past. That doesn't automatically mean that he's a threat to go out to all these universities or to these schools and do harm to other people. Because then that would mean so many other people too would be being monitored right now as well. I mean, if you really think about it, any person that's been charged with a gun possession or arrested for gun possession, they all should be monitored then too. So I don't know about that. But there's a possibility that they were monitoring him. I don't know. That possibilities are endless. But let's hear a little bit more of this here.
Surrounded in North Lansing right now, the home of the suspect?
I cannot confirm or share any information about that right now. There are several parts of the investigation, including the suspect's residence, where he lived, that are part of that investigation. I'm not able to share that at this time. In front of me.
Was the suspect a Lansing resident?
I cannot confirm residency status of the suspect at this time.
Is there any update on the weapon that was used?
No, we do not have a current update in terms of the weapon type that was used. That will be part of our investigation, obviously, and we'll work through that. We will share that information when we are able to. Please understand that we may have initial information. Before we share that, we want to make sure it's accurate. And so that's part of that process that we're working through with the investigation, is confirming the accuracy of information, which is why we want to be mindful of that as we share information. Go ahead.
Can you confirm what the suspect had on them at the time? A backpack, more ammunition, another weapon?
I cannot confirm what the suspect had on him at the time of the incident off campus. All I can confirm is what he was wearing and had on him on campus in the photograph that we released during the incident.
Man, I hate when that happened. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Here it is, guys. There is a sorry about that. Thank you. So I was just saying Damn it, I hate when that happens. There was I found this while that I was showing you guys that press conference. They were saying that that 2 of the 3 victims have been identified. Okay, so I was trying to get you guys this information. So here it is. Let me do that again. Okay, so Michigan State University Police this morning identified 2 of the 3 that were unalived by this gunman, by this monster, Monday night. Okay, so in a press release, they said the 2 of the 3 victims are sophomore Brian Fraser and junior Alexandria Werner. And then, of course, they said, in respect to the family's wishes, we will not be releasing the 3rd victim's name at this time. The police said, we sincerely ask the media and community members to respect the family's privacy, and we should. Okay? And we absolutely should. All right? So I'm just basically repeating exactly what I just said while I was being muted unknowingly. Okay? Police say all 8 people who were aimed at on Monday, all right, were students. So they were all students, while this monster had no known ties to the school. So he walked in, he did this, and then, which is really, really wild. Okay. And of course, again, here's another article that I found that I wanted to show to you guys as well. That is important to throw to you guys too. This is the 2 identify 2 students who have passed. These are their faces. These are the kids. So one is Brian Fraser. He was a sophomore from Grosse Pointe. And then the other one was a junior. Her name is Alexandria Werner. And she was from Clawson in Oakland County. That's terrible, y'all. That's absolutely terrible. So just a little bit of information on do they have both? Well, some information on Brian, at least, because this is from the Phi Delta Theta fraternity. Okay, so they are devastated. They just posted this, I guess, just a little bit ago. They said they are devastated to learn that Brian Fraser, chapter president of the Michigan Beta chapter of Phi Delta Theta at Michigan State University, tragically lost his life on the evening of February 13th. As the leader, let me see if I can get more dough. Hold on. Okay. As the leader of his chapter, Brian was a great friend of his Phi Delta brothers, the Greek community at Michigan State, and those he interacted with on campus. Phi Delta Theta sends its deepest condolences to the Fraser family, the Michigan Beta chapter, and all those who loved Brian as they mourn their loss. Phi Delta Theta is in close communication with the leadership of the Michigan Beta chapter to support them during this trying time. The fraternity is working with Michigan State University to connect the chapter with local campus services and opportunities to appropriately celebrate Brian's life. Yeah. In Colio in Colo Quest Est, Brian, brother. Why am I saying Brian? Brother Fraser. And this is who he was. And now he is no longer here. Now that's just one post. I don't know if they have any posts about Alexandria, but still, these are the two that lost their lives right here, guys. And again, it still makes you wonder, what the hell? Why were what was this one big random act, or was this calculated? Because you got to remember, let me point this out. This had to have been random. Because how would this guy know? How would this monster know to go into the Berkey Hall and find these two in Berkey Hall? See what I'm saying? To me, it screams that this is not a planned, that this is not a targeted, specifically targeted attack. Does that make sense? Clearly, it was a targeted attack, but it wasn't specifically on who. I think that this was, he walked in and he just wanted to open fire on a whole bunch of people. He knew exactly where he was going to go. The target was the university, but the casualties, those were up in the air. At least that's the vibe I'm getting here. Now, let's talk about this as you guys, see what's going on. You see their faces. You see Brian and Alexandria. And let me say this too. May they rest in peace. May they forever rest in peace, including the third victim that lost their life too, that they have not named. And understandably, the family, I'm sure, is not ready to put that name out quite yet. And they need time. This is still brand spanking new. This is still fresh. And people grieve and deal with these type of traumas in extremely different ways, varying different ways. So I say we just be respectful and wait for them to come forward and speak on their deceased or their departed behalf. But, of course, we need to talk about the other piece, the dispatch. What the hell? Because in the dispatch, there was so much that was going on. In the dispatch, there was so much content and information that was flying out the gates. We heard so many different things where people were calling in saying that there were devices, if you get what I'm saying, in certain buildings and hanging up. There were, of course, people saying that they're hearing gunshots in this particular place. They're hearing noises in that certain place, so on and so forth. It's crazy to me that there was so much information flying through and being thrown out in that scanner that we were listening to. Now, I get it. Someone did put in a super chat last night saying, hey, a lot of kids will get confused and hear loud noises, and just instantly, because they hear that there's an active monster on campus, any loud noise they think is a gunshot, right? Is a sound of a gun going off. So, and all that. So I can see how kids can be scared, hyper paranoid already when you hear hide and, shelter in place, run, hide, fight, all that, right? I get it. Okay. I fully get that part. But the part where they said that they heard, that they saw devices, and then those people hung up, that's insane to me. Again, it's as disgusting as somebody photoshopping something and putting it out on the internet to say, oh, we know who the guy is. Here's his identity. Here's this guy. He recently wrote this post on Facebook saying this. Isn't this crazy? Isn't this wild? This is the bad guy, throwing everybody off. Why would somebody call in 911 and say, oh, yeah, there's devices in this building? Click. That doesn't make sense to me, y'all. See what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. So when we heard that, I'm like, yo, they called and said that. It wasn't, they didn't hear that they randomly heard loud noises that they thought was a gun going off. That's completely different and understandable. These people called in and said devices are in this building, and then they hung up. That doesn't make sense to me, guys. I'm sorry. That is still something I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. Because who in their right mind would go and just call? Because that makes us believe that there's other people out here that were planning or a part of the same attack. You see what I'm saying? When it could literally just be what we just have here. A 43-year-old man who did these unthinkable things, right? So it doesn't make sense to me, guys. It really doesn't. And this is the reason why that kind of BS information, those kind of prank or crank calls, whatever you call them, being put out here, that's what gets the narrative all screwed up. That's when all the speculations and the conspiracies start running wild. And then that's when we automatically think that 5-0 is not telling us the full truth. And maybe there's one or two other bad guys running amok out here in these streets, kicking rocks free, breathing in this freedom air, when there's only one person, maybe. Or even that photo, the screenshot that was being shared all over Twitter. Not TikTok, but Twitter. All over Twitter, where they showed a photo of 3 men walking down the sidewalk, allegedly in the campus of MSU. Instantly, we're all going, oh my God, there's 3. We even heard it in the dispatch. They said plural monsters. They didn't say monster, they said monsters. Then a photo emerges all over on the, you know what I'm saying? It emerges, all of a sudden, we're going, oh, there's 3 eyes. And the thing is that photo could have very well been plain-clothed police officers walking their way towards the chaos. But everyone took it and said, oh, see what I'm saying? And now the conspiracy, because even me, I was like, I'm skeptical now. I'm confused. The dispatch said something else. We got all this information that's flying like crazy. It's frustrating, right? It's very frustrating. And now it turns this whole thing into a conspiracy theory. Then you got crazy mother lovers like an Alex Jones type saying crazy stuff now. And throwing out there, starting to conspirize, okay? With their BS because of the information that they've received. When it could very well have been just one guy. And I really do, after thinking about it, after rewatching certain things, reading certain articles and all that, to me, it's only one guy and one guy only, and he is no longer here. The misinformation that's been flying out the gate on this stuff is astronomical to me, and it's frustrating. And people have way too much time on their hands, especially when it comes to a tragedy. Way too much time on their hands. Oh, my God. But I wanted to play a video. Hold on. Come on now.
I think a lot of
I wanted to show you guys this video. I received this from a family member, member of the show. They sent this to me. I do appreciate this, but this is going to be tough to watch, guys. I'm going to say that right now. This is a video of one of the head doctors that has been working on all the kids that have come in from this tragedy. And this is a tough one. Take a look.
I think a lot of very dry mouths up here this morning, so bear with us and appreciate your patience. I can confirm that last evening we cared for 5 individuals who were brought to Sparrow Hospital from East Lansing Campus. The team in our Level 1 Trauma Center with our emergency medicine physicians and trauma surgeons were waiting for them upon their arrival. I will give a lot of thanks to the individuals, the first responders on the scene. Our ability to care for these individuals starts in the field, and they did a fantastic job. 4 of those individuals did require surgical intervention to treat their injuries. One individual did not and was taken to the critical care unit after being triaged in the emergency department. All 5 individuals remained in critical condition this morning. I want to thank the overwhelming response from our team. Everyone in our level 1 trauma center. This is something we talked about this morning that we practice for very often, but never want to have to do. And we did it amazingly well. I'm very proud of everyone. The team was led by our emergency department physicians, again with our trauma surgeons, but can't forget we had general surgeons, cardiothoracic surgeons, neurosurgeons. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night, sorry. So many people that just came in. We received a lot of texts that were just, I'm on my way, just within people showing up. Where do you need me?
Listen, when you have someone where it's their job to deal with all types of things, to be professional, to show up, put all emotions and thoughts aside, and save a life. And when you see this person breaking down during this, that says a lot to me on how tragic or how traumatic these injuries really were. And it also just shows the human spirit of this man, this doctor, and the many others that have been involved with this whole thing. Because this is not an everyday thing for them, but it seems like nowadays. But I saw this and it really grabbed me. It really tugged me. It tugged at my heartstrings and all that too, because he's a professional and he's still caught up. It says it's the same thing when we see the cops speaking and all that. They're used to traumatic and heightened situations where they're supposed to put all emotion aside and protect and serve, right? And now we see same thing with this doctor here, right? Where he's seen everything and then some, I'm sure. If not in medical school, he's also come across it as well. But the fact that he saw this all in one sitting, like it was like a war zone, is absolutely devastating. Heart-wrenching to see a professional like this break down. It just shows you how severe the situation really is. And all 5 are still in critical condition, as what we know so far. All of them, all 5, still in critical condition. And I also want to say, too, I give huge love and props to the first responders, the medical staff, everybody who has been working so diligently, trying to save as many lives as they can. Because without them, these kids would have nothing. They would not be here. But it is just a harsh reality of the world that we are living in right now. I mean, that's just one small glimpse into that. I got a couple other videos that I want to show you guys. Okay. One of them is a TikTok video, which I'm going to do at the end. But another one is a interview that
joining us now
is another student, another survivor of the MSU tragedy on GMA. Now, I have to be very careful with GMA. So you're going to see me cutting in and out of this quite a bit because of fair use and all that stuff. But, I wanted to share this with you guys so that we could hear what one of the students that survived, what their firsthand experience, was with this too. So let me play this for you guys. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, y'all. Okay? And let's rock and roll.
Michigan State student Dominic Malotki. Dominic, thank you for being with us this morning. And first of all, how are you feeling? How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, this is a surreal moment for me. I think I'm doing all right. I'm beyond thankful. But we're doing okay. Trying to stay strong.
Well, you've been through a lot, and I'm sure you're processing all of it as we speak. Tell us about what happened in that classroom.
Yeah, so I was in my IAH class. It was about Cuban history. And at about 8:15, heard a gunshot right outside of our classroom. And I was sitting next to the nearest door, and I thank God that my fight or flight response kicked in, because right when that first gunshot went off, I booked it to the far corner of the class, kind of by where my professor was originally standing. Right after that first gunshot, about 2 seconds later, he came in our class and let off 3 to 4 more rounds. I was ducking and covering, and same with the rest of the students.
Listen, of course, I got to cut in and out. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys, but I have to do that. These are the breaks. But imagine being in class and this is what's going down. Okay, imagine going to school. You're sitting there in your classroom, peacefully doing whatever you need to do peacefully, and all of a sudden, you just hear loud noises going off. All of a sudden, this guy walks in and just starts opening fire on you and all your other classmates. That is a terrifying thought. Okay, that's an absolute terrifying thought. The thought that is real is wild. And now one thing I want to point out as well is this guy went on campus, walked into a building that was for the school, okay? On campus, walked into the room and did this. Okay? This was not like a out of nowhere on the side of the road or walking into a public facility. He walked into a school, a college campus. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and say anything about the security of the school, but hey, it does bring questions on how much security is, how secure are these students when it comes to going in and out of these halls and these schools, these other buildings all throughout the campus. Because anyone, it seems like, can just walk onto a campus, walk through any door, and just act like you're part of the school. Now, I've seen things too, like I've seen stories. I remember college. There was times when I've seen a homeless guy like sleeping in the hallway of in a building on campus. I've seen those things happen before. Okay. Where it's because it's the coldest of the cold, in wintertime or something like that. So they just find themselves inside the building. How they do it, I don't know, but it does make you wonder, how was he able to get into this building with such ease? If it was just public access. Okay. Again, I know a lot of people would feel some type of way about metal detectors and all this extra doohickeys, extra precautions for safety. But, nowadays it seems like every school needs to be, whether it is, because I saw Rebel Girl Media say state college equals public access. even if it is public access, maybe there may need to be some sort of way that you have to get into these rooms or into these buildings, because it's way too easy for any guy, any monster to walk onto a campus and just waltz his ass into a place that he shouldn't be waltzing himself into. It's just something to think about. Again, I know a lot of people don't want to think about having metal detectors and all this security everywhere, but maybe this is the time and this is the world that we're living in now, where security needs to be amped up. I don't know. I don't like the idea of feeling like being a prisoner in a classroom, but I'd rather know that there's at least a feeling of security, because this is just insane. Okay.
But yeah, he let off 4 more rounds, and when it went silent for about 30 seconds to a minute, two of my classmates started breaking open the window, and that took about 30 seconds to happen. There was glass everywhere. I'm not too sure, but I think one of the students in my class got hit with a shot.
Man,
I pray that no more did. But yeah, after that, we broke open the window and climbed out of there, and then I booked it back to my apartment.
How is your family doing? How did they respond to this?
They're praying. They're sending lots of love my way, making sure I'm good. Me and my roommate are about to go home, so beyond excited to see my family and my dog.
No doubt.
But feeling the love. But yeah, just a lot of thoughts and prayers to the victims, my classmates, my professor, and then everyone else who was involved.
Dominic Malachy, thank you.
Well, first off, I want to say Dominic Malachy, if I'm saying his name correctly, I do appreciate him coming forward and telling his firsthand experience about what happened. I can only imagine what he's going through. This is a terrifying thing. And yeah, there was echo because I left my microphone on. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. But you guys could hear what was being said. But I do appreciate him stepping forward and speaking on behalf about this, because let's be real, it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of balls to sit there and relive all this all over again. It really does. Again, I'll say too, yes, upping the security, sure. There is something else that we needed to look at, which is gun control and all that as well. But at the same time, if gun control ain't going to change, we need to start changing something within protecting our loved ones and making sure our loved ones aren't becoming victims of a mass tragedy like this. And again, there have been multiple tragedies that have happened in the last 6 weeks, guys. 6 weeks since the turn of the new year. Remember, it's only February. We're in the middle of February right now. No joke. And there have been mass tragedies for the past 6 weeks. We talk about them every single day. Not every single day, but every single time there is one, we talk about this. And what's frustrating, what really grinds my gears, burns my cookies, as I say, is that nothing is changing. So if the policies within gun control and the ones that can get access to these weapons that are taking out our loved ones, if no one is going to step up and change those policies, if those aren't going to change, then we need to figure something else out for those public places that are children and our loved ones go to, especially when they go and matriculate at a specific elementary school, high school, junior high, or freaking university even now. There has to be something. So if it's going to be, oh, the powers that be, the elected officials aren't going to change anything within these gun policies and these gun control laws, then we need to up our security. And I know that is not sexy at all, guys. That is not sexy. And honestly, that doesn't make me feel sassified at all. That does not satisfy me at all. It frustrates me even more that we have to have security like this or talk about that in our own schools rather than us going, hey, why aren't we looking at the laws within gun control, policies, etc., so that we don't have to have our kids walking in wearing Kevlar. But for some odd reason, there are people out here that run our country, that make our policies, that make the things be what they is, that stop us from being able to slow down, at least slow this down, slow these mass tragedies down. And I will even say this too, okay? I will even say this too, okay? That doesn't mean that these policies are going to fully change everything. They're not. It also comes down to the person and, you know, and all that too. So it's not the only thing, right? Implementing some new gun policies does not mean that it's going to stop it all. But if we had a unified front on all this, then maybe we can quell this situation. Because again, there's no surefire way of stopping all of it, but we can sure as hell try to slow this bad boy down from happening every single day. But I got another video for you guys, and the reason why I say what I've been saying is because, you know, I saw this video before I started the show. It really grabbed my attention.
So the reason I'm making this,
it really angered me, to be really honest. This really, yeah, it really burned my cookies, man. Because last night we heard someone speak over the fact that their child witnessed the Oxford tragedy, was a survivor of the Oxford tragedy, and then now they are now a survivor of the MSU tragedy that happened last night. And what's wild is that this particular person went on TikTok recently, all right, and said that they are also a survivor of the Sandy Hook tragedy. And now they survived this tragedy as well. And they had some things to say. So I wanted to share with you guys. Like to hear it? Here it go.
So the reason I'm making this video right now is because it is almost 1 a.m. and I am currently directly across the street from where the shootings at Michigan State occurred. I am 21 years old, and this is the second mass shooting that I have now lived through. 10 years and 2 months ago, I survived the Sandy Hook shooting. And when I was crouched in the corner in school in Newtown, Connecticut on 12/14/12, I was hunched in the corner with my classmates for so long that I actually got a PTSD fracture in my L4 and L5 in my right lower back. I now have a full-blown PTSD fracture that flares up anytime I am in a stressful situation or anything occurs that's aggressive like that. The fact that this is the second mass shooting that I have now lived through is incomprehensible. My heart goes out to all the families and the friends of the victims of this Michigan State shooting. But we can no longer just provide love and prayers It needs to be legislation. It needs to be action. It's not okay. We can no longer allow this to happen. We can no longer be complacent. I'll forever be Sandy Hook strong and forever be Spartan strong.
Yes, I have to say, first off, I do appreciate JMatt for coming through and posting this. But this is the harsh reality that we live in now. This is the full-on reality that we are now becoming so that these tragedies are becoming so ingrained into our daily life now. Then now we're getting children who were or college students that were children at the time experience a trauma that's so unbelievable all over again. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen. That's how ingrained this is in our country and in the DNA of this country. That now we are getting to that place that the probabilities of our children experiencing a mass tragedy like the ones of MSU, Sandy Hook, Parkland, Oxford, and then some, like name a city, there pretty much has been one. We're getting to that place where the probability is getting greater and greater. Most likely to experience a mass tragedy, survive a mass tragedy, or lose their life in a mass tragedy. That is the reality that we are all living in right now as we speak. And again, a lot of us sit here and go, oh, well, and we point fingers at all these other things, every excuse under the sun, when I feel like we need to be going back down to brass tacks, back down to the basics, and look at where it all started. It's within these policies, it's within these protocol red tape that you need to jump through, those hoops that you have to jump through for those particular things to gain a weapon, so on and so forth. Maybe tightening those things down would be amazing. Maybe, and just maybe, there is more emphasis and more look into mental health, right? Into mental wellness and talking about that as well. There's so much that we need to talk about. Now, Danny Avalon just said ban AR-15 sales. Okay? But from what we have heard so far, there is no long rifle that was in the possession of this particular monster, from what we hear. Okay? Unless they say something different as the news comes out. But from what they have said so far, they haven't said anything about a long gun yet. And he may have had one. But it's still, if you got a 6-shooter, you got a little pea shooter, if it's still a gun, it's still a gun. And a gun still hurts a lot of people. Bullets can take the lives of many, many people. Doesn't matter if it's a small gun, Dirty Harry type of gun, or a full-on AR-15 type of rifle. It can still do the same damage, like maiming someone, hurting someone gravely, or taking their life. But the reason why I said this, and the fact that I'm bringing this up, the fact that we're even hearing this story on a TikTok of a survivor of something, of another mass tragedy, is also a survivor of another mass tragedy, is absolutely beyond me. It's absolutely beyond me. And to me, the constant phone calls and the things that people are saying now, that there's, like I just said a second ago, about the mother calling into a news station saying that her kid survived the Oxford High School tragedy 15 months ago, and then 15 months later, they're reliving this tragedy all over again. The fact that that's happening, and then we have somebody else who experienced Sandy Hook, which was one of the worst ever, speak out and talk about this, it tells me, hey, yo, this is insane, and we need to do something now. But we sit back. I'm not saying I'm not saying y'all, okay? But the powers that be sit back and they continue to allow this stuff from happening. And they constantly are saying, all of them, both sides of the aisle, I don't care. They're both saying, oh, there's something we need to do about this all the time. And then you look at it and you go, baby, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately? Have you done anything for this stuff? Are you protecting our kids? Are you pushing certain things? Certain bills, certain things to stop these things from happening to our young ones? Are you really though? Are you? Because I'm still waiting. You can go up and go, oh no, I need to speak on this because this makes me good, makes me look good. You know, it's election season or something like that, and I need to get my face and my presence known. So let me get in front of the podium and go, oh, these crocodile tears! I can't believe this is happening again. We must do something. And then you leave and you don't do a damn thing. You show up to your luncheons, you show up to your group whatevers with your smiles and your fake promises. And then another tragedy happens. And then you show up and go, oh, this is so tragic. We should never do this ever. Okay. And everyone goes, fanning themselves down. Amen. We need to stop this. We need to protect our children. And then what happens? Nothing. This is a broken record, and it's a song I am tired of hearing. We need to change the tune right now. We do. Before our universities, our schools, all of our educational facilities turn basically into fortresses. And then that will be the problem too. Okay? That will be the problem. So I'm ready to see some officials do a little shumping, because the thing is last thing we want to hear is kids walking in strapped. I said it, strapped for their own safety, not because it's like gang violence and all that. It's like gang. Nah, I ain't saying that. I'm saying these kids will show up with this stuff to protect themselves because they don't think that they have anybody out there to protect them. And if these government officials that we've all elected and said, oh my God, he the truth. Yes, he's giving me hope again. Ain't doing the damn thing. It's only going to get worse. It's already gotten worse, actually. We already late to the party, baby. We already late to the damn party. So it's time for us to do something now, because we should have been doing this 15, 20 some odd years ago. Real bloody talk. I am sick and tired of this broken record song. We need to change the song right now. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to do something, and we need to do it quickly. This kid survived 2 of them, and there's many other kids like this kid right here. We need to make a stop, y'all. We definitely need to make it mother-loving stop for the love of all that is holy. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. All right. I appreciate you. Let me say this too. Happy Valentine's Day to all you. I'm sorry for getting all heated. This stuff just gets me emotional, y'all. because there's only so much I can do. I know there's some trolls in the chat, and it's all good. Let the trolls be trolls, because they don't know what to do either. Okay? But let me tell you this, okay? My beautiful babies. Let me tell you this. We're supposed to be celebrating love today. I know that Parkland, this is the anniversary of the Parkland tragedy as well. And may all those victims rest in peace as well. But we got to remember that we are very, very lucky to have one of the most powerful things in the world surround us every day, if we can get it. And that is love. It is a powerful, powerful thing. It makes us believe we can do anything. It can make us do things we never thought we would be doing. It is an amazing, amazing feeling. The feeling of being loved and giving love. So I say, please, guys, if you guys can, today, of all days, please spread love. Spread this story. Because here it is. You're spreading the story because you love your neighbor. You love your fellow man, and you want fellow man to still be here. And you want these kids, our future, to be able to grow and do what they need to do to help change the world. So please today, spread love. Spread love today. Not only just to your loved ones, not only just to your mans or your baby mama, okay, or your kids. Yes, shower them with all the love that you can. You're lucky that they're there. And you're lucky that they say that they love you too. So give them love, but also spread this love to somebody. And it could be just as simple as I said before. Open a door for somebody. Give somebody a compliment. Just say hello, happy Valentine's Day to somebody. Just do that. Just do that. L. Wilson, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so very much. But again, I want to say this. I love all y'all. Without you guys, I'd be talking to a wall. I appreciate your support. I really do appreciate your love. Seriously, y'all are amazing. And I love what I do. You guys give me reason and purpose to get up every single morning to do this because I love what I do. And you guys make it so much easier to love it even more. So I love y'all. Thank you so much. Queen of Ocean. Hopefully I'm saying that right. God bless you, son. Thank you for having such great disposition. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for saying that. But happiest of Valentine's Day to all you guys. If you guys can do me a favor, show a little bit of love by hitting that like button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? If you haven't done so yet, you know your boy's working hard out here in these streets, and you know it's one of the best parties on this side of the YouTube streets. So hit that subscribe button, all right? And again, please enjoy your Valentine's Day. Eat a whole lot of chocolates. Get your person some long-stemmed roses. Do you. But do it with love. Anyway, guys, I got to get going. I appreciate all y'all. Okay? Oh, wait. I missed one. I missed the super chat. Oh, no. No, hold up. I want to make sure I got that. Hold up. S Dubs, thank you so much for the 2. Pascal for president. I think that ship is sailed, but I do appreciate you saying that, okay? That's hilarious, okay? But I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, okay? I will be talking to you guys very, very soon, okay? Stay positive out there. Keep spreading the word. Let's find ways we can change the world. One conversation at a time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Can't talk now. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.